Nick, you've gotten so tall. This is unbelievable.
I don't think this man needs an introduction, but I will do it anyway. Kobe Bryant sitting down with us now, a 5-time NBA champ, but what was it, 18-time All-Star?
Yeah.
Just a few, a few. Thank you so much for sitting down with us here on US Open Now, and we've been seeing the footage of you kind of enjoying the US Open at a few matches yesterday and taking part in some stuff today. What are your impressions of this event?
You know, the energy here is remarkable. You know, I'm used to playing and going, you know, to events that are just single events, you know, one major stadium. But to be here and to see the energy and people walking around, kind of the hustle and bustle of it all, aside from the great tennis being played, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is a little mind-boggling, right, when you come out here, especially now. You were out here yesterday, checking out Naomi Osaka and Coco and all sorts of different matches going on. Well, Osaka was very nice. She acknowledged that you were here as well as Colin Kaepernick, and she was asked after her match, hey, is that more pressure on your shoulders because they were out here watching you? And she was like, no, I just didn't want to go to the third set because I didn't want them to sit out in the sun any longer. I thought that was very thoughtful of her to say that.
She's so sweet. She is. She's really sweet. But what a player, though. That's a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent.
I mean, you're a phenomenal talent as well. What kind of appreciation do you have coming out here and watching these tennis players, especially in person? Because in person, it's a completely different experience.
It's different. The speed of the game is something that you have an idea of it when you see it on TV, but when you're in person, the speed of it is truly remarkable. And their footwork and the fact that they're really isolated, right? There's no teammate out there that can cover for a blown coverage. You know, it's just you.
Yeah.
Right? And when you're in person and you're watching them, you know, perform, that is extremely evident.
And we've been talking a lot about Coco Gauff and just, you know, she's 15 years old, but the poise and the maturity that we've seen from her, both on the court and off the court, dealing with so much at such a young age. That's something you're obviously very in tune with. What have your impressions been of her and just how she's been handling this spotlight?
Well, you know, to me, it's amazing, you know, how fundamentally sound she seems to be. And I'm no tennis aficionado, but from the people that I've spoken to, so she's extremely sound, and her poise is, you know, it's ahead of her years. You know, to see her drop a set, to not get rattled, to stay composed, and to come back and get the next two. And at 15, I know 35-year-olds that can't do that. You know?
This is
true. Do you have advice for her? I mean, because you obviously went through a similar thing at a very young age.
Well, it's to stay the course to what's important, which is the craft. You have to continue to get better at the craft. There's going to be a lot of things pulling you in different directions, and they're fun, right? A lot of responsibilities, you know, corporate responsibilities, things like that. But you have to stay locked in on what got you these opportunities, which is the game of tennis, and continue to get better at that.
How many times have you been out here to the U.S. Open?
This is my first time.
This is your very first time?
This is my first time. So yesterday was my first day.
I don't know why I thought you had been here out here.
I wish. I was, you know, busy doing a bunch of other stuff.
Playing basketball or something. That kind of took up a little time.
Yeah, and so now I get the opportunity to do this, and hopefully next year I can bring my kids. They'll be a little older, and we'll have a good time as a family.
Well, I'm so interested in terms of the intersection between what you are doing with tennis, because you're coming out with a book, Legacy and the Queen.
Yep.
And
which we have on set, by the way.
I
conveniently.
Love
Thank you.
I will be the
how long?
model.
I want to read this, but how long is this? It doesn't look very.
No, it's not long at all.
Okay, I'm all about simple reading
these
days.
You know, the first page and the last page, you have to do yourself a favor and like open it underneath the sunlight.
Under the sunlight.
Under the sun. Open it under the sun, and then you watch magic happen. You got to be right under the sun.
Oh, there's a
there's like a tree or something. This is very cool.
So,
wait, tell me a little bit more about this book. And I know this is the first of 5, right?
Yeah.
And I guess give us the cliff notes. I mean, without giving it away, but what's the focus of the book?
Well, the book, the idea started originally with wanting to tell a story that dealt with the journey of inner emotion and the challenge that we face. So like the first book we released as a company is called the Wizard series, and that was a story of empathy and compassion. So I made it about a basketball team. You know, you have teammates that you need to understand and appreciate and so forth. This one, I wanted the struggle to be more inner. And to me, tennis is the best story for that to live, because it is just you out there facing these external challenges that then challenge you internally. And so that's what the book is about. It's about legacy, you know, fighting for what she loves, and trying to hold on to what she loves dearly, not understanding how big of a challenge she's facing, and we'll have to see if she can overcome it or not.
I mean, this is a tremendous project. I mean, for somebody who is very passionate about psychology and mental health, I know, Jamie, you hear me talk about all the time, and it's something that is really coming to the forefront, especially in the world of sports. We're hearing a lot more athletes come out and be more forthright about the issues that they're going through. But how much did that inspire you to start this book series?
A lot. A lot. And I think the important thing for me in creating these books is, I got a lot of people that said, you can't write these books. Kids won't understand them. The messages that you're trying to convey to these children, they're not ready to hear that. Just let them hear something fun and, oh, look, it's magic and all sort of stuff. And I disagree with that. I think it's important to distill these very complex messages, especially in dealing with emotion and how to deal with anxiety, how to deal with pressure, how to deal with success and failure. Distill those down at a very early age. So now kids can start being self-aware at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And it better prepares them for life, I think. So.
And 4 daughters now, right?
4 daughters.
Congratulations on the latest edition.
Thank you.
How much of an inspiration were they for writing this?
Well, every book that we create has diverse characters. It's rare for us to find a book with characters that look like my girls, And so every book that I create comes from that place. I want them to have heroes in film and literature that remind them of themselves. And so it all comes from there.
I just had my first kid 11 months
Congrats.
ago. By the way, the MVP of your family, no offense to you, but is your wife.
Oh,
4 kids.
100%.
After having 1 kid and just the physical changes and the toll, I won't go into it, but it's just, it's crazy. But it's been fun to watch you progress through your own personal journey. The Kobe pre-kid, do you think you would have ever done any of this?
No. If you would have told me then that this is what I would be doing, I'd be like, no, I'm playing basketball for the rest of my life. It was a singular focus. When you have kids, the world opens up. And now it's about Natalia, it's about Gianna, right? It's about Bibi, it's about Coco, and loving them and making sure you put them in the best possible situation, as well as my wife. We've grown together in that. And making sure we're doing everything possible that, for them to live their best lives. So.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at some of the footage of you. I believe this was yesterday, hanging out with the NetGen kids.
Yeah.
Well, what was that experience like?
Oh, it was fun. It was good to see them kind of playing different sports. I mean, that's another big thing that we're passionate about is being able to mix sports up. And kids participate in everything. But it was fun to be with them.
So you've got a lot of estrogen in the house. Are you going for a 5th? Are you trying to go for,
Well, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having 5 girls.
Oh, okay.
My wife's like, dude, you got to give me a boy.
So she's the one that's going for a boy?
She wants a boy.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm like, I don't know if I can do it.
No?
And she's like, I don't know if I want to have 5. If we could guarantee it would be a boy, then yeah. But I don't want triplets either, so.
That's also something to consider.
It's her decision. I have no say-so on that. I'm not,
she should, because it's her body.
Exactly. It's her decision to make.
I do want to ask you about something else, because as we were learning on the set, multi-talented Kobe Bryant, a podcast coming out as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have a podcast that I created a couple years ago called The Punies, and it's about these 2 announcers that want to be the best announcers in the world, and they have a group of friends that are out there participating in different sports every Saturday, right? So the first episode of season 2 airs tomorrow, and the episode is lacrosse.
Nice.
And they call themselves the GOGs, the good old gang. and it's them just hanging out, talking. I don't have coaches in the shows. I don't have parents in the shows. It's about the kids learning from each other and how they support each other through sport and competition.
Now, is this fictional? Is it a drama of any sort, or is it just real?
No, it's fictional. It's just I give you the inspiration. The inspiration came from watching The Sandlot.
Oh, okay.
So I was watching The Sandlot, and I was like, man, we need to do something like that. And I couldn't crack the story. And then every Christmas we watch Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of young people that don't know.
They don't know.
No, they don't know. They don't know Sandlot. They don't know Charlie Brown.
But I took Sandlot and Charlie Brown. I said, we're going to mix those 2. And that's how I came up with The Punies.
I love that.
I get.
Well, so where can you get it?
Anywhere podcasts are available. Just download it. It's free. Download it. Check it out. It's a good old time.
Okay. I want to steer it back to big picture tennis now, because you're here in your second day. Are you going to be here a third day? Are you going to check out the big match tomorrow?
I'm missing the big match.
No, you're going to. I specifically designed the draw, Kobe, just because I knew you were coming out with your book. I said, you know what would be perfect? If Coco Gauff and Naomi Osaka clash third round. And we had a seat for you. I purposely designed that. And you're gonna,
you can watch Coco play doubles today, though. She's going to be playing right behind us.
I know.
You got to bounce.
You got to bounce. Yeah.
I got to bounce. So I'm going to have to watch it from home.
You're a busy man, we know. And so we do appreciate you taking the time to sit with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, you guys.
Yeah, have a good time.
Oh, we have one more question. Yes, I forgot about this. One last question. It's very quick. We do have a Twitter question. We ask this every day.
Hard-hitting.
Different things
every day.
Hard-hitting,
Kobe.
Today is, what color is a tennis ball? Do you think it's green or yellow? I didn't know it was such a hot-button issue.
Well, that looks green to me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
green?
that's like light green to me.
Okay. See, so
interesting.
It's like the dress. You know, the dress from a couple years ago.
It's going to be, opinions will vary, I'm sure.
Chartreuse.
I said chartreuse.
We've come up with chartreuse.
Yeah,
if you don't know
like
what
chartreuse.
Chartreuse.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we know you got to go. Thank you for joining us.
Book. How about that? There we go. Now we know why he chose that. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
It was really nice to have you.
Thank you. Have an awesome time.